Welcome back to Sparks. In the last video, we covered how to add images and buttons on our website. Today, we're going to be doing an optional lesson. This isn't going to be required or needed for our website, but it is HTML, so we are going to cover it. And this is going to be an optional lesson on ordered lists. So, like when you have a paragraph list or like a 1, 2, 3, 4 list, we're going to cover how to put those on our website. And we're also going to be covering how you can add line breaks and how you can bold and italicize your text on your website. So it should be a pretty interesting optional lesson, but you don't need to tune into this lesson if you don't want to. So yeah, again, we're on glitch.com, linked in the description, and we're going to go to new project and classic website or hello web page, depending on if you're using an older glitch or not. And alrighty, it is not loading. Psych, it just loaded. So, welcome to Glitch. We are going to the left-hand side, index.html, and we're doing the whole shebang as per usual, highlighting all of their nice code here and deleting it because our code is obviously better than theirs. So, again, first things first, we put in our HTML tag to tell the computer, hey, we're programming in HTML. And now let's cover lists. So basically, there are two kinds of lists. There are ordered lists, so a list where the order matters. Think of it kind of like a recipe, right? First you do this, then you do that. And then there are unordered lists. So you can think of like a bullet point list or maybe like a grocery list, like the order of the stuff on the list doesn't matter, but the stuff on the list still matter, if that makes sense. So first let's cover how to do an ordered list. So a numbered list, maybe like a recipe. So the way you do that is you put in an ordered list tag, and obviously we're not typing out ordered list, so we shorthand it to OL. So get it? Because it's like ordered list OL. And in between here, for every time you want to put like a list marker or a number 1, number 2, number 3, we have to put in an LI tag, so LI. And then, as you can see, you may think like, whoa, how come this tag isn't on 3 lines as per usual? And that's because the returns here, every time we return, is kind of like a stylistic thing. It really doesn't matter if you hit return or not. It just makes it easier to read. So basically, don't worry about the fact that this is on 1 line. But in between this LI tag or this list item tag, this is where you put the item of your list. So maybe your first recipe in how to make mac and cheese is to boil the pasta. So let's take a look at how this looks on our website. So click on show in a new window. And as you can see, boil the pasta, number 1. So now what we can do is if we want a number 2, we add another list item. It'll complete the tag for us. And what do you do after boiling the pasta? You shred the cheese. So let's take a look at our website. We have our number 2. I'm probably going to leave it at that for that macaroni and cheese. But that's how you do an ordered list. Now let's cover an unordered list. So maybe if you have a bullet point list. And similar to how an ordered list is OL, how you do an unordered list is by UL, where unordered is U. And again, we're going to be using list items, so LI. This is going to be a lot of memorizing. Feel free to write these down if you need to. I sure did when I started. But basically, as per usual, everything in this LI tag, this list item tag, is going to be like the item after the bullet. So maybe this is our grocery list for this mac and cheese. So maybe I need some Gouda cheese. So let's see here. As you can see, we have our ordered list on top and our unordered list on the bottom with our bullet point. And how about let's add another thing. So list item, and in between here, what else do you need for a good mac and cheese? You need your pasta. I like to go with medium shell, so medium shell pasta. Gouda cheese and medium shell. All right, that's all I'm going to cover in terms of lists. Now let's cover a quick few ways that you can manipulate your text. So basically your bold, your italicize, your underline, all that. So if you want to do a bold text, you just type in bold, which we shorthand to B. So this text is bold. And how about let's just delete these lists for now, just to make it easier to read. And so everything inside of this bold tag, which we shorthand to B, this is going to be in bold. And as you can see, this text is bold. And similarly to the bold, italicize is shorthanded to I. So I, and in between here, this is italicized. I don't think I spelled that right. But yeah, this is italicized. But you may think, whoa, how come both of these are on the same line when in the code these are not in the same line? And again, this is because of something I referenced earlier, which is that the returns mean nothing. So basically this code would work exactly the same if I did this, or if I deleted the space, for example. So as you can see, exactly the same. So how do I put these on different lines? How do I basically kind of like hit enter to like put this on a new line? And the way you do that is by using a line break tag. A line break is basically like hitting enter on a document, and the way you type it in is by doing BR, which is shorthand for break. And you don't need to close this one, which is really nice. But as you can see now, we have this text is bold and this text is italicized. You can do other things like strike through and underline, but these are probably the most important ones you're going to want to use. And you can use these with headers and paragraphs. You can do whatever you want. But that's going to be it for today's lesson. Hope to see you in the next one.